I'm going to show you how to transform your filthy, disgusting driveway into a work of art. And all you're going to need is some sidewalk chalk and a pressure washer, which you probably already have. You're probably already saying to yourself, hey, this guy's an artist. I'm never going to be able to draw that on the driveway. And that's fair. What I'm showing you is fairly complex. But I'm going to show you sort of the fundamental things that I do so that you can create works of art on your driveway, because it's a whole hell of a lot more interesting than just cleaning with a pressure washer. My name is Sam, and I've been drawing pictures in dirt with a pressure washer for about 4 years, ever since COVID, I would say. Since then, it's really turned into something that I couldn't have imagined. In that period, I've had some videos gone pretty viral and seen all over the world. I've been featured in Ripley's Believe It or Not books twice. This is the second one. I've done commercials for tool companies and video game companies. I've been on the news and articles all over the place. It's been a trip, all just because I'm too bored to clean with my pressure washer. You can see more about all that at my website, powerwashingart.com. It's got all my social channels and all that kind of stuff, so come check it out. But enough about me. Let's get into talking about how you can do this at your house or your business with your own pressure washer, so that when people walk by, they're like, damn, that looks cool. Some of the things that I've learned, I've had to learn the hard way, and one of those things is the tips. These little things that go on the ends of your pressure washer. This one right here, this red one, for the most part, get rid of it. Don't ever use it. But one thing I would recommend is that you can use for example, a 1900 PSI electric pressure washer to do this. In fact, I would recommend it because the gas pressure washers are just too powerful. The pressure is too high. You really can't control them. But if you're using a lower PSI machine, 1900, 2000 or lower, and you have these tips, the ones that come with the machine, throw them out, get rid of them. What I would recommend, depending upon the surface that you're going to try this on, tip that is made for a higher gallon per minute machine. This is super complex, but here's all I'm saying is that while you're learning how to do this, if you use the tips that come with them and you have it as close to the surface as I do and what you're seeing here, you're going to leave a groove. So I've had to learn the hard way. I've ruined some concrete. I've got some permanent scars in my own driveway. But I got these tips. They're the same as they look the same as what you would normally get with your pressure washer, but these are made for a little bit higher gallon per minute machine. So I get the shape that I want. I kind of call these brushes, but I get the shape that I want without getting the sort of the laser beam. Most of the time I use the green and the yellow. Sometimes I'll use the white, which is a bigger sort of fan to kind of do some feathering and fading and things like that. But this is kind of an important thing, especially while you're starting off. What are we going to draw? Well, in this video here, I drew this here. And again, I know you're saying like, hey, I'm not that good of an artist. I don't know how to draw that. Well, I'm not suggesting that, right? Start off something small. Get one of your kids' coloring books and try to do something out of that. I draw the piece of art that I want to do ahead of time, and then I kind of put it in like a Ziploc bag and put it on a clipboard and set it off to the side so I can kind of follow it. Here's the trick. In a perfect world, I could take chalk and I could draw this whole thing out on the surface that I want to pressure wash it out ahead of time, and then I just follow along those lines. Problem is, when you're spraying high pressure water, the chalk immediately goes away. So you have to do little bits at a time, like what you're seeing over here. You do little pieces at a time and eventually you get a whole composition. Now, I know it's not that easy. Like, I'm not trying to make this sound like, oh, anybody can do this dragon, right? But it's the idea of doing little bits at a time in small shapes to get something bigger and bigger and bigger. Do some flowers. Everybody knows how to draw flowers. Start with a smiley face. Do something simple like that and then add to it little pieces. Little bits at a time. Be patient, go slow, and you'll eventually get something. And not to be too anticlimactic here, but really that's it. It's pressure washer and chalk, just little bits at a time. Now, there's companies out there that sell stencils and things like that, and those are cool options too. I've never used them. I just like the challenge of doing them freehand. But if you want to get these cool designs, there's all these amazing stencils that you can make your driveway look like different kinds of tiles and flowers and dinosaur tracks and all kinds of crazy stuff. So give it a whirl. Number one question I get all the time is, how long do these things last? And really, it just depends. It depends on the surface. It depends on what's around the surface. If there's a lot of trees overhanging the surface, or there's a lot of traffic, vehicle traffic, foot traffic, that sort of thing. That's what I call good dirt, right? Pollen and mold and things like that are good because they make that surface really dark. If you have a surface that's underneath a heavy tree cover, you will probably only get 3 to 4 months where you can actually see what you've done. It'll look good for 3 to 4 months. But if you have it in an area that's not maybe covered in trees, but it has had a lot of vehicle traffic and things like that, I've seen some of the things that I've done last 9, 10 months before they were really starting to fade in that you couldn't really tell what they were anymore. So it is a cool, long-term, temporary piece of art. But the great part is, if you do have a lot of tree cover, you can almost go back every 3, 4 months because the mold and the pollen and the things like that are coming off those trees will cover up the old stuff. So if you have that kind of scenario over your driveway, you can go back and do this over and over and over and get better at it. So with spring right around the corner, go get your pressure washer, go grab some sidewalk chalk from your kids and start drawing and see what you can come up with. Like I said, it's a whole hell of a lot more entertaining than just sitting there going back and forth and cleaning. And again, I'm no pro, so all you professional pressure washer guys who are out there like about to judge me or complain about my technique or that I'm ruining the concrete, yeah, so be it. I'm having a lot of fun though. And if you've liked what you've seen here, be sure and like and subscribe and follow me on my other channels. Go visit my website. If you do try to do some power washing art on your own, let me know. Let me see it. I can't wait to see what you do. I'm always interested, and also I'd love to hear your suggestions on what I should pressure wash next.